All right. We have head coach Pat Hallmark for his weekly media availability after a 1-2 weekend series against UT Arlington. The Roadrunners will head to Waco to take on Baylor on Tuesday. And then we have Long Island University this weekend. Coach, if you just want to open it up with the opening statement.
Yeah. Welcome. Look forward to chatting. And team played okay. We would have liked to won more, but overall, not entirely disappointing despite the 1-2 record.
Jerry, you got anything for us?
Yeah, Coach. Good morning. Just wanted to ask a little bit about, Caden Miller hit the big home run for you yesterday. Just wanted to ask you, what kind of ball player was he in high school, and what do you project for him as in the way of a rookie season with the Roadrunners?
Well, he's from Madisonville High School as well. So it was a little smaller caliber high school play, but he played on the top summer circuit in high school. One, if not the best summer team, one of the best summer teams in the state. So all summer he's facing some of the best pitching, playing in the top tournaments nationally. So he's seen good pitching. So he was a terrific player and a good get for us. He was actually going to HCU, I think, with a relationship with Lance Berkman. And when Lance resigned last summer, Caden opened his recruiting back up, and we were able to get him over here. So he was a fairly big recruit, certainly a big recruit for us. Happy to have him. He has some hitting talent. He has more raw hitting talent than most of the recruits we get. So he was a little antsy. You probably saw he was hitting in the leadoff spot Friday and Saturday, and he was just antsy, little jumpy up there, and he wasn't getting real good looks at pitches. He was chasing more pitches than he ever chases. That's one thing he does really well, which is why I hit him in the leadoff spot, is he controls the strike zone terrifically, especially for a freshman. But anyway, he settled down a little bit Sunday, had another hit. He had I thought he had a good at-bat on the ground out to first, which kind of ironically, I told him after that at-bat, just stay where you're at. You're swinging the bat good. So 3-run homer came later.
John?
Coach, you've added one of your former players and Luke Malone to your staff. What has he brought to your team and being part of your staff since he's joined you?
I think the biggest benefit to having Luke around is the fact that he's still playing. He's still playing professionally, and the guys know that. So, not that they don't listen to the other coaches, but they kind of look up to Luke because he's still doing it. It's one thing if I tell him to do something, or Coach Butler, like we as coaches, we all know, like we don't have to go do it, especially when it comes to hitting and pitching. It's easy to say, hey, go do this, and it's different when you got to go do it. So I think there's a little bit of validity to what he says because he's out there doing it. So that definitely helps. And Luke's going to be a terrific coach. He already is. He's got the good combination of feel in terms of like how to say things, but he's very even keel. So if he does get emotional or tell you something with some passion, guys tend to listen, I think, because he's not like that very often. He's pretty level-headed, but when the time calls for it, he can get his point across too.
What was it about the way he played or the way he carried himself when he was playing for you that made you think that he would be an effective coach and somebody that you wanted to have as part of your staff?
Mostly that he's an overachiever. I value overachievers because they figured out how to produce with less. I hope Luke doesn't take that the wrong way, but Luke's fastball even now is very, very average fastball. For Division I baseball and for professional baseball, Luke mostly operated in an 88 mile per hour range with his fastball. it's even below average, frankly. And he was still terrific. And most pitchers at our level and above operate with fastballs at the bare minimum in the low 90s. And Luke operates at 88, 89 miles an hour. So he knows what he's doing. Mentally he's sharp. He has that good combination of passion and an even mind where passion doesn't always help you. And Luke has that good balance. So, but basically he's an overachiever. That's why I wanted him.
Rylan?
Coach, let's talk about tomorrow a little bit. What stood out to you about Baylor when you look at them? Well,
I was just watching them before I came in here. We just found out who's starting for them. I got a lefty going 94 to 97. So I didn't know they had that guy, and I don't know why they didn't pitch him this weekend. They did pitch him one inning. But, yeah, he kind of caught us off guard because he was there last year, I think. He just didn't pitch. So he probably didn't throw strikes last year, and he's probably throwing more strikes. So we were just up there watching him in the office, Coach Aguayo and I. So that's the first thing on our mind is just coming up with a plan to maybe get some guys on base off him and see if we can do something with him. Kid named Bailey, lefty named Bailey. So, and then they got most of their lineup back. I've read where they have they're the only team in the Big 12 that returns their top 3 hitters. So they're an experienced team, and the top of their lineup looks good. We've already watched them and scouted them. Those 3 guys plus a couple other guys. They got a kid back that was hurt all of last year named Simmons, who's hitting in their cleanup spot. So it'll be a good challenge.
Sean?
Coach Robert Orlowski came in a tough situation yesterday and was able to get the win. Can you speak about his performance yesterday and then just what you've seen from him in terms of his development from last year to this year?
Oh, he was terrific yesterday. One, just finishing the game, bringing him in the 5th inning, and then completing the game. It's outstanding. That's how we draw it up, but sometimes how you draw it up and what happens is not the same. So yesterday, that is kind of the role we want him in. We'd like him to come in maybe a little later than the 5th, but Rob was great. Bases loaded, 1 out, and he punched out Earhart, their catcher, and it was outstanding. And then he just mixed his pitches after that the rest of the game. He did a really good job. Stuckey called a great game. They did a terrific job of just mixing their pitches. And UTA does a good job of 2-strike hitting all weekend. They frustrated us a little bit. We'd get ahead of them, and then they'd bounce some singles through and fight some of our better pitches off. And then when we did make a mistake, they'd get a base hit. And they were able to do that a little bit on Rob, but Rob just kept throwing strikes. Really proud of our whole pitching staff throwing strikes.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Coach, just kind of wanted to ask a little bit about the latter part of the game yesterday. Y'all were down a run, but the whole team seemed to show some pretty good resilience there and putting up that 4 spot in the 8th inning. And what was going through your mind during that inning, Coach? You finally saw your guys were coming alive there in crunch time, and what were the emotions you were feeling right then?
Well, prior to the home run, I was just trying to do my job, basically, whether that meant possible pinch hitters or whatnot, but trying not to be too emotional, frankly. But then obviously when Caden hit the home run, you're pretty emotional, pretty excited. No guarantee you're going to win, but now you're up by 3 with Rob on the mound, and so you're feeling pretty good. But prior to that, you're really trying not to be emotional, just trying to be in the moment and see if any moves need to be made, and if not, just watch the game. I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes as a coach, you need to not make any moves. So that's really what we were thinking. But I think what you're getting at is that idea of resilience. I think we've had it here for the last 3 years. We've had some resilience on our teams. This is a largely new team. So that's a work in progress, and we're learning. I think all of us as coaches and players, who's resilient, and those are the guys who will be out there. I think Saturday we showed some resilience as well. Friday we were not very resilient. Friday the plan on Digert Friday, you didn't ask this, but getting into resilience, the plan for their guy Friday was not an accurate plan, and that's my fault. I'm talking about from a hitting perspective, but I did think we should have adapted sooner, a lot sooner. We never adapted, basically. He kept beating us with sinkers and off speed, and last year he threw a lot of fastballs. He was like 70% fastball last year to left-handed hitters, and he did not pitch that way at all on Friday. So we're not very resilient Friday, and we talked about that as a team. We were a little more resilient Saturday. We just didn't get a big hit Saturday. We got 10 hits and we left 11 guys on base though. And then Sunday we kind of put it all together. But as I mentioned at the beginning, we did a lot of things well. Fundamentally, we played good baseball. We kind of checked that first box, which is throw strikes and play defense. So certainly got to hit though. We do need to hit better.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Pat, as long as I've known you, you've emphasized Sunday wins, and 5 of your first 7 came through with a bat. And gee whiz, 3-4 of them had multiple hit games. Is that part of what you told them on Sunday before the game? This is the day we win?
Not really, Mike. I wish it was that easy to say. You just tell them. I think part of it was relaxing. I think Friday and a little bit Saturday, some of the new guys were anxious, very, very anxious. They there was some tension up there in the batter's box. So that's mostly what we talked about after Friday night was adapting and then just letting the bat move. When you're tense, you're not going to react, and the bat's not going to move as freely and easily as it needs to. So Saturday we were a little better. I thought we had 4 guys in the lineup Saturday that were not relaxed and not free and not loose. We talked, and we just keep talking about relaxation. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's trying real hard. Early in the year, a lot of new people. So the tension was going to be there. I'm sure it was there across the country. A lot of tense ball players this weekend. And it'll naturally become that some of that will go away. But how you handle that as an individual is very important. And the people that handle it the best play more and win more. So I do think Sunday what you saw was people started to relax. Caden's a perfect example. He was very tense and anxious Friday and Saturday, which is understandable. True freshman coming into college baseball. And by Sunday he started to relax a little bit. And you saw a pretty good hitter out of him. So I think that was mostly what it was. We do have the win Sunday is still part of our mantra. I think it'll remain, but I think the difference was the relaxation.
Well, you could tell, I'm sorry.
Coach JT Towson got hurt. Can you tell us how he's progressing this season?
I have not got an update today. But yeah, he was pretty sore. Looked like I think it's a hamstring. They weren't 100%, but that's what everyone's suspecting. I think he's going to get a pretty good examination today. It was a little lower than most hamstrings, but it's still in the hamstring area. So we'll probably get an update at some point this afternoon and see how he's doing. But he wasn't able to finish, and he was just getting hot. So, but Maressi did a good job coming in for him.
Go ahead, Sean.
Coach, you alluded to this a little bit, and obviously games aren't won on paper, but when you look at the stats from last weekend, they're pretty impressive. No errors, 1 walk, 24 strikeouts. Everything looks pretty good on paper except for a couple of the outcomes. What do you build on from those successes, numbers-wise, despite not getting a couple of the wins?
Reliability, I kind of guess, is the first thing that comes to mind. Is when you do it in 3 games, you're starting to hopefully have some reliability in the strike throwing and the defense. The people that threw this weekend, I did anticipate they would throw strikes. Royce and Owens and Rob. Miles was maybe one that didn't throw strikes last year, but he's been throwing strikes in the fall, so I wasn't shocked that he threw strikes. But he needs, certainly he needs to keep doing it. The defense was pleasant surprise. So, and it was on a natural field too. So what I mean by that is we play so many, nowadays you play so many games on turf, you can see some good defense on turf, and then a lot of times teams will go to the natural surfaces and kick it around or throw it away a little bit. And it was 3 games on a natural surface with 0 errors. You don't see that a lot. That's pretty impressive. So we just got to keep doing it, keep focus on it, practice. The guys know that it's important. They're bought in, so that's nice.
Mike, do you have any more?
Nothing other than who are you going to start tomorrow against Baylor, and then looking forward to Long Island over the weekend. How's that going to line up?
Yeah, so we'll start James Hubbard, who's a JUCO transfer, tomorrow at Baylor. Excited to get James an opportunity. He's excited. He's got a good fastball, and we'll see how he does. Again, he'll probably be a little nervous, a little anxious, but it's part of it. So it makes it fun. So, and then Friday with Long Island, we haven't bared down on Long Island too much, just coming off this series and Baylor tomorrow. But I have watched their Friday night starter. They got a big, tall righty that throws a lot of changeups. He was first team all conference for them last year. Looks like a pretty good arm. Not real overpowering with the fastball, but the changeup is his pitch. He's like 6'7", and he throws literally straight over the top like this. So I think it's a little awkward, a little different look also. So, but we'll prepare for him Wednesday and Thursday, see how we do. We get some cold temperatures this weekend, which is fine. We had them last weekend too, just the way we like it.
All right. Thank y'all for joining.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Caden, appreciate you.